wanted to make a short video today just to talk about something that had happened to me one time. I was in a place in my life where I was looking for some sort of spirituality that made sense to me. You've heard me drop things here and there in videos where I'm talking about, just little different tidbits and things, like I'm not so into the like damn to hell sin thing or different things like that. One of my pivotal points on this journey happened when I was in my early 30s. I was going to a church, a non-denominational church, and had found with taking a class for survivors of whatever. Wouldn't really define survivors of what. But the whole design of the class was to draw us closer to God and Jesus Christ. Well, these are the early days of me quitting drugs and alcohol, and so I knew I needed all the help I could get. So I was willing to go to this class because I had some problems with God, and I was looking for a way to get over those. One night after class, one of the ladies came up to me and she said, Susan, she said, God already knows what you think. You don't have to be afraid of telling God what you think. And I was like, mm-hmm. And she said, because, he sees everything. So I was like, thinking to myself, okay, Lord lady. But as I drove away that night, I was really pondering on what it was that she had said to me, and kind of pissed me off. So I was like, well, let me just try this out. So at that time, this is in Pismo Beach, California, and there is a place called The Outlets. And at this point in time, they were being built. So the parking lot was there. There was a few structure-ish things, but mostly it was just laid out for the stores that were to come. So parking lot, gutters, dirt. So I pull into this parking lot and I turn off the car and I sit there and I think about the experiences that I had throughout my life. And then I just start talking out loud. According to the Lord lady, you were here when this happened and you were here when this happened, and just naming off things, Next thing I know I am like pounding on the steering wheel of my car and I'm swearing and I'm like, where the hell were you then? Or why the hell should I believe in you now? And I'm just yelling and I'm angry and I'm pounding and I'm like, strike me down with lightning, god damn you, because why the hell, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. I'm angry. And then I yell everything that I possibly can, and then I start crying, which really makes you mad when I'm angry, and then I start crying, and I don't want to cry. I'm crying anyway. And I just kind of like cried it all out, and then I went to my home and, tucked myself in and went to work the next day. And I didn't really notice immediately any changes. But now that I am in my almost 60s. It's been over 25 years since I did that. And now when I look back at my life, I realize that was a turning point. The turning point for me was that I let go of this preconceived form that people say that God is, because that wasn't going to work for me. And instead, I began to collect qualities and characteristics that I thought, if there was a supreme being, what would I want that supreme being to be like? And I collected my tidbits and I collected my characteristics, and slowly, I began to grow a concept. And it was a concept that was loving, had no disdain for rules and regulations that had to be followed. And I let that grow, and that became really more of a sense of peace and a sense of connection than a thing that I was supposed to bow my head to. And now here we are all these years later, and my concept has changed so much. My concept of today is that there's a source and that we're all connected to it. And what happens is source is the flame. You think about a flame, you light a match. You can light matches off of that flame as long as there's flame. And every match can then light as many matches as long as there's flame. And those matches can light, and so on and so on. There could be millions of lights off of that first one. So it's that first concept for me, source. And everything else has come from that. So source is absolutely everything that there is. It's not something outside of us. It's not something above us. It's a part of absolutely everything that's around us. Everything. There's nowhere that source is not. Okay, I think about all the darkness and I think about some really ugly things and I think, how in the world can that be? And that's a tough one. And I think everybody needs to think about that and come up with their own understanding of why is that. But I do know this. The darkest place in the world, you light a match in it,